morning, early birds and our European and Asian traders. Welcome to the morning edition of First Mover at Consensus, your first global look at today's action in the Bitcoin, blockchain, and digital asset space. I'm your host, Christine Lee, and joining me is my co-host, Lawrence Lewitton, CoinDesk managing editor of Global Capital Markets. Emily Parker will join us at 11 a.m. Lawrence, it's the last day of Consensus.
I know. I'm getting senioritis already. I'm just,
You were just being, flooded with an avalanche of knowledge and information. You're going to sleep well tonight. All right, checking in on Bitcoin, the CoinDesk Bitcoin price XBX index is currently trading at $39,642. Bitcoin is trading pretty flat for the past 24 hours. And the CoinDesk Ether price ETX index right now at 28.19. ETH is also pretty flat, but slightly up about 0.3% over the past 24 hours. The most reliable reference prices for institutions since 2014 are now published under the CoinDesk brand, trusted globally as the leader in crypto news, events, and data. So, Lawrence, we had a big day yesterday, and you did a write-up on Larry Summers, who is the former Treasury Secretary under the Clinton administration. He had some interesting stuff to say during Consensus.
Yeah, he basically, here's the thing. Larry Summers, of course, he was President Clinton's Secretary of the Treasury. He was an advisor to President Obama. It was even considered a potential pick for Obama's to be the Fed chair, and he had a lot to say about.
Yeah, Lawrence, hold on. Well, we got a clip I want to play. Let's have a listen.
The case for serenity that it is remotely responsible, as a majority of members of the FOMC continue to insist, that it will be prudent to keep interest rates at zero for 3 more years, seems to me at the edge of absurd.
All right, break it down for us, Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Summers is very critical of President Biden and the Fed. He's critical of monetary stimulus and fiscal stimulus from the White House. Not necessarily that it exists. He's not against it, but he is worried about the magnitude. He said, look, if you boil it down to everything, you're going to do all this stimulus. You got to be ready for inflation, and inflation causes a lot of problems in an economy. And that if you just think that you can put in trillions upon trillions of dollars into an economy, keep rates low for the next couple of years, 3 years, you got another thing coming, because inflation is over the horizon. That of course affects people who are investing in crypto. I mean, one of the big selling points for Bitcoin is that it's a hedge against inflation, because there's a limited supply of Bitcoin and there's a limited supply of other cryptocurrencies, but it doesn't seem to be a limited supply of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Very fascinating and interesting to hear his perspective on crypto. We also have guests CZ of Binance, Kathy Wood of ARK Invest later on during Consensus, and SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX will close out the conference with Tom Brady. Very excited to take a look at that.
You didn't spend enough time talking about Tom Brady here. I mean, this is Tom Brady.
We will. No worries. It's coming up. Tomorrow we got a whole new First Mover and 11 too, guys. All right. Well, cases of COVID-19 unfortunately continue to climb at alarming rates in India. And our next guest formed the India Crypto Relief Fund in response, accepting crypto payments to distribute aid to those in need. Joining us now to discuss is Polygon co-founder and Chief Operations Officer, Sandeep Nalwal. Welcome to the show, Sandeep.
Hey, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, well, good on you on setting up this India Crypto Relief Fund. You're accepting crypto for COVID relief. What has been the response been? And we heard from Vitalik that he's donated over $1 billion worth in shitcoin. So how much have you raised? And what are the challenges of accepting crypto and turning it into fiat that can help with COVID relief?
Yeah, I mean, it's especially in India, India has been in news for quite some time that, crypto, the government wanted to have a sort of, I'll not say ban, but crack down on unauthorized use or kind of speculation on crypto. So, I myself was already, volunteering for some of the things, during the peak of the crisis. And, it was very difficult at that point in time. Like we used to start with 10 or 12 requests for oxygen, like which we, personally know via some friends and all that. And by the afternoon, almost like 6 or 7 or 8 of them would have perished just for the lack of oxygen. And that was a time I thought that something needs to be done, and what I can do, like I can maybe bring some donations and using crypto and all that. And that's why I had to say, if you see my original tweet, I had to say that I'll take personal responsibility of whatever regulatory compliance is required for this. I'll do that. So so we started this, and it really broke out. Vitalik really helped in that. Balaji was there and all that. So due to that, we were able to initially raise like 6.5 to $8 million, but then Vitalik donated like $1 billion in ship coins. So it kind of exploded the fund's treasury, and till now, like I think we have got around $150 million in, like, converted into these stable coins and all that, because SHIB obviously is a speculative coin. So in terms of the funds treasury is pretty big, but then again, like how to take those funds in India, like I quickly figured out with my compliance officers that we should actually not take crypto directly into India, but do it like via some entity outside, convert it into bank accounts, and then directly donate into Indian NGOs. And NGOs have to be also FCRA approved, like who can receive foreign funds. So we did that, and now we have a channel where we can move the money into the Indian NGOs, but still it's not the fastest of the process, right? So, I mean, I was able to raise like this $5-6 million within like 48 hours, right? And now, like, to move those dollars into India takes around, at least 7 to 8 days. And I think that's what tells you about the future of crypto, that how and what kind of efficiencies it can bring into making this the whole globe into one single sort of more integrated economy.
Are you liquidating all the SHIB coin that Vitalik offered you? I mean, $1 billion.
No, so the day we got it, immediately, I had, because SHIB community was, panicking a lot. So I immediately tweeted about it that, we are going to act responsible, because there is a lot of retail community involved here. And, I being a co-founder of Polygon, we are now one of the top 20 projects in the space, and we know like the feelings of the retail community firsthand. So, I immediately said that we are not going to dump all of it into the market. So we'll do it in a very small chunks. Of course, it's donation money, so we have to eventually do it, but then it will be spread across multiple months. So what we are doing is we are doing in 10% chunks of it. So, we still have only done, it's been like 2-3 weeks, and we've only done like 20%, 25% till now.
Well, great on you for taking up the management of that. I wonder if the government has reached out to you at all and, started to look a little more fondly on the crypto community and the benefits that it could have.
Yeah. I mean, we are talking and collaborating with government embassies. Like, for example, we were able to source a lot of, oxygen cylinders into India via the Indian Navy channel and all that. So we are collaborating with government here and there, and I think that is possibly giving good name into that. And now with this big treasury, we want to do some long-term, stuff in India also, because this enables us now to do that. So we want to, kind of participate very heavily with the government in a public-private partnership. Government is doing good work. We want to collaborate with them, and kind of expand it, take it into the ground. And then, maybe doing some long-term, like, for example, some genealogy research, if we can contribute into, or kind of get private talent into it and all that. So we are looking at a lot of long-term initiatives at that.
Well, Sandeep, it's not only that, but the price of Matic, which is the native token of Polygon, obviously has gone up almost 10,000% year to date, according to some Messari data we have. And this is after billionaire investor Mark Cuban confirmed to CoinDesk that he's made an investment in Polygon, which is a layer 2 solution on Ethereum to scale. Now, I wonder, how did you connect with Cuban, and what is the relationship like? Has he offered any advice?
Yeah. So, I mean, Mark has invested in Polygon, quite late, but we have been, growing very, very exponentially for the last 6, 8 months because we launched our mainnet last July. And, today, by the number of applications, we are the largest, like after Ethereum, we are the most, like, as a layer two also. If you compare with other layer ones, like, big names like, Solana, Polkadot, we are far ahead in terms of the third party adoption. That means the developer community adoption. And like all the biggest DeFi blue chip projects like Aave, like Curve Finance, Sushi Swap, in future Balancer and all that, all of these big ticket projects and blue chip projects have deployed on Polygon, and they have larger markets, larger number of users on the layer two, on the Polygon, like Ethereum layer two, instead of Ethereum. So reason being, you obviously Ethereum gas fees become so high at times that a lot of retail gets priced out. But then again, it's the most decentralized and secure platform. So having these more scalable platforms on top of Ethereum. And having these applications over there, the D apps and DeFi and NFT on that, makes it very easy for the user adoption. Like a lot of retail can to give an example, 30,000 users are using Aave on Ethereum, on Polygon versus 26,000 on Ethereum, right? So that is one thing. And then NFTs also. So Mark was already using Polygon, like you must have known that became a big news that Elon created an NFT, and then Mark also created NFTs, and Jack Dorsey NFTs his first. So all those were actually built on Polygon using some applications, right? So, but because we originated from India and all that, we are not that visible in the Western, this thing. But it has been growing like anything. It's already by far the biggest platform. So that growth has been there. And then Mark was already a user, so we reached out to him. He said that I've been using it and all that, and those conversations went very smooth from there.
So, Sandeep, first of all, thank you again for your humanitarian work. When Mark reached out to you to say that he was a user, I mean, he only used it in this one aspect, the NFT aspect, or is there anything else? And what applications do you find getting the most usage using Polygon?
Yeah, so I think Mark was not only using some of these NFT applications, but he was also using the decentralized exchanges. I think he was doing some sort of small scale, because he's a very hands-on investor. Like when we had a call, I think it was one of the most mind-boggling calls for me, because the kind of in-depth knowledge of issues and the nuances of the industry he had. It was like, I was like, how is he able to know these, intricate details which we get to know after working months and months. And so he was already doing some small like farming and providing LPs and all that. And he also interacted with a game called Zedrun, which has